Parker von Valkenburg's anthropology class can get really dramatic.
Why the heck did he include this in a movie about space travel?
Anthropology is the study of humankind, past and present, and technologies, ancient and modern. So when von Valkenburg got his first look at a robotic milking machine, he was awestruck.
I had no idea that dairy farmers are using such high technology. That was really impressive.
You're not from around here.
No, I'm not. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, originally, and have just moved up to Vermont, and came here by way of Boston and England and California. And cutting, you mean, right?
Ben Valkenburg is a new faculty member at the University of Vermont. He's only been in the state for a couple of months. His visit to the Four Girls Dairy Farm in Fairfax was one stop on a day-long tour of Vermont farms hosted by UVM Extension. The tour is offered to new faculty members and gives them a chance to get to know their new home.
Shortly after accepting the position here, actually in May, I think, I got a booklet of information about the Vermont Farms and Working Communities Tour, and it sounded like a pretty exceptional opportunity to get to know this place that I'm now calling home from a perspective that people don't normally get to see, and to get to know UVM, my new employer, from a perspective that you don't get when you just sit in your academic department.
In addition to visiting a dairy farm, the participants also got to taste Vermont at its sweetest and learn about modern sugar making.
Pre-concentrate even further that sap before it gets down into the back pan.
It's just really nice to sort of have some personal contact with the people who are producing the food that we eat and learning a bit about where it comes from, getting the sort of perspective from them about things like CSA shares and just the sort of nuts and bolts of the agrarian economy in Vermont. I mean, I'm definitely really excited to sort of share a lot of the information that I've gotten today with my husband. Again, you know, he's a lifelong Chicagoan, so it's really this kind of cool insider view of this part of Vermont that we haven't gotten to know, just sort of exploring on our own.
We are certified organic.
David Rozovsky took time out of his busy schedule as UVM's new provost and senior vice president to take the tour as well. For him, this tour exemplifies UVM's land-grant mission to work hand-in-hand with Vermonters in a practical approach to education through agriculture and engineering.
One of the reasons I came to Vermont, to the University of Vermont, is because of the land-grant mission. 20 of the 24 years I've spent in higher education have been at land-grant universities, and I have a deep commitment and a strong belief in the power of the land-grant university. And so the opportunity to get out early in my tenure at the University of Vermont and see part of the state and meet some of the people that are living and working in Vermont felt very important. And if it's not something I can do often, I want to make sure that I at least do it once or twice a year. For us to really fulfill the mission of the land-grant university, we need to understand the state, we need to understand the people of the state and their needs and their aspirations for our university, because it's their university.
As provost, Rozovsky is in charge of the curricular, instructional, and research efforts at UVM. So he has a vested interest in making sure new faculty get to know the communities and the people of Vermont.
I would encourage all faculty to take advantage of these types of tours or opportunities to tour the state. I think many do because it's such a beautiful state and it's also accessible. And what I would encourage them to do is think about their role as faculty and staff in a land-grant university and understand what are the expectations, what are the needs, and where are the opportunities for the university and the state to work closely together to help the state to help itself and to take great pride and great pleasure in the land-grant mission. It's an extraordinary mission, it's an extraordinary cadre of universities, and UVM is very privileged to be in that group.
During the course of the lecture today, I want you to think not just about how we're human because we use tools, but also
when it comes to teaching how, where, and why civilizations began, it's important to know about the people who call the places they live home.
I mean, that's one of the most important things about history, is not taking what you see around you for granted. Having gone on that tour, I felt like I was becoming part of a community that wasn't just this small group of scholars up in the ivory tower, but a piece of a larger society that's trying to work together to solve really complex problems. Once you sit down and you start talking and you understand a mutual interest in the land and technology and sustainability, there's probably more common ground than we think.
From people and places to yesterday and today, these new teachers are learning a lot from their new neighbors. In Fairfax, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.